There you go.
So Guillain-Barre Syndrome starts low down, usually in your feet, and works its way up by causing, paralysis. A lot of numbness, a lot of pins and needles in my upper and lower extremities. It's one that you study a lot in med school, so it's kind of a shock to hear, like, oh, how is that me?
When he came in and I saw the name Matt, and I walked in the room, I was like, are you Matt? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I'm Matt. So it was kind of like, oh my goodness.
This weekend, my mother and sister are both coming.
Okay. So he was one of the first residents from the pediatric CMU program here in Saginaw. And he was my very first resident that I had.
Here we go. With Matt knowing so much about Guillain-Barre Syndrome and Matt having that medical background, it has obviously been an eye-opening point to experience it as he has.
I've never been hospitalized before this, so once you're in the patient position, you really, you feel a lot different about it.
Try and focus on that heel strike too.
The biggest thing for him was his coordination. So when he first stood up those first few times, tried to take a few steps, he had no control or feeling in his legs at all.
They started by picking up my feet, 2 people, 1 person on each foot, moving my feet in that sort of motion of walking. And then over the next just few days, I was able to start walking with my walker, a short distance. In addition to the big things like walking and throwing a ball and that sort of thing, working on just the fine motor skills.
A quarter of people with Guillain-Barre generally experience some sort of sensory processing deficits. So when Matt first came in, he talked about having a lot of issues in his hands, and it almost felt like he was wearing a glove most of the time. And with his career and just his active lifestyle, I wanted to focus and work towards being able to help him regain some of that.
There are a lot of games that involve, picking up small things and trying to fit them in the correct space. That's also very small.
Turn it.
You did it. 5 seconds to spare.
Whew. At first, that was a real challenge, and now competing against my own time, I'm getting a lot better.
It's the best part about the job. I mean, patients ask that all the time. What do you like the most about your job? And that's always my #1 answer, is just watching people grow and progress.
It's great here. It's, I think, the best you could ask for as far as treatment level, as far as having the equipment and the staff to help you get back to reaching your goals. It's a very bright, welcoming environment. I've heard a lot of people joke that it's almost like a resort or a day spa, just with a lot more wheelchairs.
There may be no cure for a lot of these experiences, but what there is hope within the walls of what we provide to increase their independence, to give them that little bit of push forward so that they can continue to progress.
So the fact that, he is a younger person and his speed of recovery was more exponential, that he is a really good recovery prognosis to go back to finishing off his residency and being a doctor.
Facing this, it's one thing to, see somebody else go through whatever, illness or disease they have, but to actually face it yourself and really live that experience. I think I'll better understand what they're going through, the challenges that they're facing being in the hospital, away from family, away from their natural environment. I think it's something I'll never forget and, carry with me in the rest of my medical practice.